Good morning, and here we are, just a few days from the holidays, with both Hanukkah and Christmas on the 25th of this month, which, by the way, is Wednesday. You know, I grew up in a world where we were taught it's better to give than receive. And I still believe that to be quite true, and I think the Bible would bear that out. But what do you do when there is nothing to give? I tell you what, especially for men, this is a very difficult situation. But before I get into it, here's my cookie. Thank you, Jay Lee and Bob the Builder. And here's my Sherry coffee. And thank you, Sherry. You know, I'm going to take my bite here. Hopefully not make a mess. I said hopefully. I think people get so caught up in the need to give. Part of it is ego, and part of it is personal desire to be a blessing. But what do you really do when there's just nothing there? And I think for a lot of people, and it's interesting enough that after the holidays, did you know that the suicide rate is the greatest in January? It is. Because people will overextend themselves, can't do anything about it. They start getting the threatening letters in the mail, things like that. Let me tell you, if you are out of funds, if it is impossible, then there's a great gift you can still give. It's the gift of yourself. God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. Now, if you so love your family, friends, and such, the one gift you have is you. There were years, and I'm going to be years, in which, because of ministry, my family literally had zero in this time. But I say zero, things that, I couldn't go to the store and buy, but I wound up making Christmas. I remember one year I had a bunch of cedar wood. And so I went out in my garage and both of my girls got a cedar box lined with fake fur. I don't know why. I put the fake fur in there. But they got their jewelry box. And it was cool looking, at least at the time. And my friends, they also got cedar boxes for their talits and such. So it's not always as hopeless as you might think. For some people, a cookie, and believe me, I understand the value of a cookie, or cake, or a letter, handwritten, okay, or the sacrifice of something that's important to you, okay. You know what? It doesn't get better than that. You can have all the money in the world and still have a horrible holiday. Unfortunately, this is the time of year that there are domestic issues and fights and brawls and assaults and even murders. Okay? It's not good. Why? Because people are angry with themselves in most cases because they have no resources. I'm telling you, you got a resource. You are the best gift you can give during this holiday. Okay? If you're Jewish and you're celebrating Hanukkah, then celebrate the meaning of it. 8 days, 8 candles, read the scriptures that go with each candle. Okay? One year I was so stinking poor, I made my grandchildren Hanukkahs out of children's building blocks. Just glued them together, had their name, Josiah and Levi, and it was important that I could give at least that, and felt good because I had made it for them. Make something, write something, draw something, okay? But whatever it is, put yourself into it. And if you are just, like me on several occasions, just no resources, let me suggest there's a thing you can do. You can sit down, look them in the eye, and tell them how much you love them and how important this season is to you. That's right. Imagine Christmas Day, sitting down with your spouse, looking them in the eye and saying, I love you, and I love this season, and I want to be with you. You know, sometimes the best gift really is yourself. Now, let me tell you, the worst thing you can do is to dig a hole financially. Because once the hole's been dug and you're in it, nothing left to do but to throw the dirt back in. You know, don't go crazy because you feel bad when you shouldn't. Give yourself. You know, I think if people took this principle and applied it, okay, it would make the family stronger, the bond would be greater, the season would be far more rememberable. Growing up, I remember a couple of Christmases I wish I couldn't remember. You know why? Because the bottom line, it was terrible. The arguing, the fighting. No, I don't think that's what God had in mind. And Hanukkah, well, let me tell you, I talked to my Christian friends and they talk about, oh, how much debt? Try being Jewish. You got 8 days. But give yourself. Give of yourself. I talked to my daughter who has her favorite blankie. Yeah. And when she's not feeling well, it was the blanket she would use. And she'd also use it with her sons. She gifted it to one of the boys this year. And it was a major emotional deal. Probably more important than anything else. It was just something she had that the family knew to be important. You know, don't run off to Walmart, Target, Macy's, the dollar store. You know, give yourself. And that's my whole message this morning. It's not a big hairy deal. It's not a big theological wonder. I got theological wonders coming someday. But let me tell you, it really is all about Him and you. Giving of yourselves. See, that's what God expects from us. Give God a gift. That's weird. How do I give God a gift? Give God the gift, once again, of yourself. Renew your vow to the Lord. You know, and make sure someone hears you do it. Why? Because a witness will always hold us accountable. If you have to sit down at the table with the family, fathers, hear me, renew your presence in the Lord in front of your family. Mothers, renew your presence in front of your families with the Lord. Our term today, our word is Baruch. And Baruch means blessed. If you want to have a blessed holiday, then give yourself. You know, even if you got resources, give yourself. This is just not a message for those who are poverty-stricken. Give yourself. And then you really will have a blessed festival. So may God bless you and keep you and cause His face shine upon you and be gracious unto you and lift up His countenance to you. May He give you peace during this season. May it be joyous, marvelous in your household. So take the heart and give the gift of yourself. Amen.